Let's give it up.
All right. Holy shit, I was ready to show like cohort analysis and all kinds of crazy data tables, and then I came in here and I saw everyone drinking. I was like, fuck. So we're gonna try and be fast-paced, and I'm just gonna move through a lot of this stuff. So the basis for what I'm gonna be showing you is the data that we've collected. So we've collected over 1 billion data points at this point. We're running over 12 million page views through our site right now, and we're in the top 1,000 in terms of our Alexa ranking on the internet, which that's a bullshit number. Anyway, can anyone say, shit, okay. Can anyone say datagasm? Okay, so that's what we want, so that's what we're gonna be doing. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of things. One, we're going to be talking about the most successful kind of pages across our entire system. We're going to be talking about the most successful opt-in mechanisms that you can use in your business. We're going to be talking about the most successful strategy for building your list. Oh no. All right, I can't see my slides, but I'll do this from memory. And so we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of shit. Okay, so insight number one, okay? The most successful pages and category pages across our entire system right now are webinar registration pages. So here's the analytics behind one of our templates in our system. Okay, so thousands upon thousands of page views. The average conversion rate, again among 15,000 customers, the average conversion rate for this template is, I believe that says over 50%. So webinar registration pages are absolutely crushing it right now. So here's the takeaway. Okay, if you sort all of our templates on our platform by average conversion rate inside of lead pages, 9 of the top 12 are webinar registration pages. So here's, even when that's on cold traffic. So here's the takeaway. Even if not one person ever shows up for your live webinar, even if you don't sell anything on a webinar, please do webinars because they're absolutely crushing it in terms of conversion rates. They far outperform everything else. Again, 9 out of the top 12 highest converting pages on our platform are webinar registration pages. Let's just break down, Let's just break down why these convert so well. Okay, so bear with me for a second. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why these types of pages convert really well. So the first reason is that there's this countdown timer. So right now, basically across the board, anything with a countdown timer is pretty much out converting anything without a countdown timer. So there's a whole bunch of reasons for this. The first reason is that countdown timers move, and the human eye is drawn to movement. So all things considered, people are going to stay on a page longer when there's some kind of movement than when there isn't. And the longer they stay on the page, the more likely they are to opt in. So please have a countdown timer. Another reason why countdown timers work so well is because they make they create a sense of urgency and they make the data real, right? So October 13th is a concept, but 3 days, 2 minutes, 15 seconds, that is not a concept, right? That's very, very real. Another reason why these are working really, really well is because they're mobile responsive, right? So make your shit mobile responsive. Another thing that's really working is this kind of two-step opt-in process, right? So just by removing, here, I'll just click on this button. So just by removing the opt-in box from the actual page and making it appear when someone clicks on a button, that by itself in many cases is actually doubling conversion rates, right? And here's why. Here's my theory on this. When people come to a page, they're making a determination about whether or not it's a giving page or a taking page, okay? A giving page or a taking page. And when you go to a page and you don't see someone asking for your data, it looks like a giving page. And then when you click on the button, you're asked for your data. So if you only are asked to provide data when you ask to be asked to provide data, it typically works well. Another reason why this works so well is because it brings the decision to a head, right? So if you have that opt-in box on your page, people can browse around the page, read some things, and then leave. The second they click on this button, they have to make a decision one way or another about whether or not they're going to opt in, right? So it brings that decision to a head, and I just want to say this is super important. 100% of the people that don't make a decision about whether or not they want to be on their list will not be on your list, right? But some percentage of the people that make a decision will end up on your list. So simply by getting people to make a decision, you're going to increase your conversion rate. Another thing that goes on here is that it creates some kind of behavioral inertia, okay? So if you can get people to say yes at a low level of commitment by clicking this button, the likelihood that they'll say yes at a higher level of commitment by opting in increases, right? If you can get someone to take some action by clicking this button, the likelihood that they will take the higher commitment action increases because you have them in this pattern of acting. So that's kind of what's going on with this kind of page. This is one of our highest converting webinar registration pages. So moving on. So hold on. I do not. Hold on. All right. So these pages are just crushing it. A lot of people are getting like 70% conversion rate, 50% conversion rate. Among controlled folder traffic, 40%, 30% conversion rate. But they're still the highest converting templates across our system. Okay, so insight number 2. The most successful opt-in mechanism on our platform is, again, these 2-step opt-in pages, right? So try something for me. Go to your blog and remove the sidebar opt-in, okay? Remove it altogether and replace it with an image that when clicked on creates one of these pop-up boxes, okay? I actually call them click-up boxes because they only appear when you click on the button, right? So they're not intruding upon the user experience, right? They're not forcing themselves to appear. They only appear when someone clicks on them. And if you do that, you will see about a relative 30% increase in conversion rate, and there's a whole bunch of variables that affect this. So for example, on our own blog, when we switched from sending people from a page to a landing page and put that landing page, like a mini version of that landing page, in the version of a pop-up box directly on the blog so that it doesn't interrupt the user experience and appears immediately, conversions increased quite a bit. And here's kind of the difference in data, right? So you had like around, let's see, what is this? So you have like around like 70% conversion rate over here for those, and this is often in the 90s of the percentage of people that either see the landing page or see the pop-up box. Now it's about time to have another shot. Okay. Here's another example of this working. This is Ian Brody. He's a client of ours, and what he did was he removed this opt-in box directly on his website, on his homepage, and he changed it to this. And when you click on that, that's what appears. So from that to that, when you click on the button. So from going from having it directly embedded on the page to having something like this, and when the button is clicked on, it goes to that. That created, I believe it was about a 70% increase in conversion rate. It was definitely double what it was before. So the rule of thumb is, if you have people on page A and you want to send them to page B to opt in, you're better off just having a modal window that appears when someone clicks on a button right there on the page. You'll lose a little room for messaging and branding, but what you'll gain is speed and ultimately conversion rate, at least in every single split test I've seen so far. What is this next one? Yeah, about a 30% relative increase. Okay, insight number 3. The most successful list building strategy that we've used to date is this. And this is crushing it for us. This is sort of the biggest advancement we've had in our own business's list building since we've started, and that is this. If you create a customized lead magnet that goes with individual blog posts or individual articles, you'll get conversions through the roof. So usually if you have that sidebar opt-in on the side of your blog, maybe you'll get a 1 to 2% conversion rate. But if you create a customized opt-in that's specific to that particular blog post, they'll go through the roof. So what can these lead magnets be? Often, if it's like an epic blog post, it can literally just be you cutting and pasting that blog post and putting it in a word processor and saving it as a PDF. Right? But if you have recipes, you can give those away. If you have checklists, you can give those away. you can create some formula in Excel, in an Excel spreadsheet, and give away a calculator or something like that. This should help people. So that's what's working the best. And just to confirm this, I'm just going to show you this data. I have to go down here to see exactly what it is. So last month, across our entire website, we got, across the blog, we had an 8.36 conversion rate from the blog. And check this out. Because so many people were opting in, 1.28% of people who read a blog post bought. Okay? 1.28% of people who read a blog post bought. Most people are lucky to have that among the people who opt into their email list. This is just percentage of people that read a blog post who end up buying, right? And last month, what does it say? 3.68% of people who opted in ended up buying. So this is just crushing it for us. All right. So what I'm saying is, send people from a blog post to a specialized opt-in where they can buy, or use one of these modal windows, these click-up boxes or lead boxes that appear directly on the page. And again, of the people that click on that button, around, at least on our blog, around 90% of the people are opting in, which is just huge. Here's another example. This guy's like Video Fruit, and what he's doing is literally, in every other blog post, he's giving away a customized lead magnet. Thank you. I thought this was, whew, water. Shit! Is that a message? Do I need to loosen up? Okay. All right. So here's what he's getting from his blog. Like, this is just for an individual blog post, so like 74%. It's not a ton of data yet, but this is just for one of his lead boxes. He tweeted it. So what can you give away? Checklists, recipes, formulas, PDF versions of your blog posts, etc. Okay, the next insight, I want to call these datagasms. Hopefully this isn't databation. Okay, so the next insight is, what is the best day of week to mail? And so what we found is that there isn't one day that specifically stands out, but the best days, if we look at, and again, we're doing we're doing over 2 million opt-ins per month. But the best days are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hands down, 80% of the time, it's a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday, okay? And in terms of what time of day, we're really not seeing one particular time stand out, but we're finding that from, 4 a.m. Pacific to 3 p.m. Pacific, that's when conversion rates across our platform are steady. And again, you can see the views in any one particular hour. Like in this hour, there was 3,441 opt-ins on the platform, 26.9% average conversion rate. So this is the conversion rate. This is the conversion rate line. So we're going to segment this more by industry and stuff, but this is where it's at right now. I was going to get into the whole industry segmentation thing, but there's a lot of beer going around. Okay, insight number 6. Okay, at any given time, we have over 100 split tests, active split tests running on our system, several hundred in fact. And so here are some of the trends that we found from the split test that we spied on. So we're allowed to share this data, but it represents a whole lot of other split tests. So the one interesting insight from the split test is that raw photos are outperforming like professional photo shoots, okay? Even in women's markets, even in like just across the board, there are some exceptions, but generally speaking, raw photos outconvert professional ones. So for example, here we have Rob Cornish. He's got his one where he's wearing a nice shirt. Here he's backpacking. This one. Here's one, Carl Taylor, wearing a suit. Here's one that's sort of like a raw photo. This one won. So across the board, raw pictures are out converting like professional, sort of serious ones. Insight number 7. Man, I missed out on the photos here. Okay, so I'll just share this because I ran out of time to do this as I was making this beer-friendly. So a few insights about button text. 1, Immediacy is important, okay? So for a while, the winning text for a button, call to action, was like free instant access, right? Everyone's been told use free instant access. What we're seeing win right now is the phrase download now, right? It's more succinct and it's more immediate. Another rule of thumb is point of view, okay? This one is huge. So if you're giving away a report, the text could say download my report, or it could say download your report. Which one do you think is winning? Download my report or download your report?
Nice.
So download my report is winning.
Wow.
And the reason why, so we've heard like Gary Halbert and copywriters say, enter the conversation that the user is having in their own mind. And the user isn't saying, I want to download your report, they're saying, I want to download my report. So write in the voice that's going through your customer's head, okay? That's a huge one. I've never seen an exception to this in a split test. So right from the point of view of the person who's reading it, like their internal monologue, succinctness is important, and so does immediacy. So here's what's really interesting among a whole bunch of launching soon pages. So I've looked at a whole bunch of launching soon pages, and we've tested the text, like, let me know when you launch, versus, or like, alert me when you launch, versus tell me more. Which one do you think people are more interested in knowing? When you're launching, or are they interested in tell me more?
Tell me more.
Yeah. So tell me more is winning. People don't give a fuck when you're launching. Like, they're not like sitting around. No cursing?
Shut the fuck up!
Shut the. I hope nobody says that to me. Okay, so people care a lot more about hearing more when they come to a countdown page for something that's launching than they care about like knowing the exact second when it happens. Anyway, that is. I wish I had examples to show all this, but I don't want to run back and forth to the computer all the time. But that's what's happening. That's what we're sharing. So the 7 insights are webinar pages right now. Webinars are not dead. They're out converting everything right now. The two-step, going from a one-step opt-in process to a two-step opt-in process is absolutely crushing it. Relative 30% increase in conversions. Insight number 3, give something away with every blog post. You will see your conversions go through the roof. Every blog post should be an opportunity for you to get someone to opt into your list. Insight number 4, mail on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. 80% of the months that we've been around since we started, these dates are the dates that work the best. Mail between 4 a.m. and 3 p.m. We're not seeing much of a difference between that time range. A lot of people are like, mail at 4 a.m. or whatever. Just as long as you're in that range, you're going to be fine. There's literally there's no statistically significant difference between these ranges. Insight number 6, use raw images. Insight number 7, button text should be from the point of the person reading it, their internal monologue. Use raw images whenever possible. You might try a hybrid of like professionally shot raw style images. And also, shorter and more succinct is better. That's it.